Tribe, in this few minutes of mindless gibberish, I'm going to share with you how I tie a lead core or copper core leader. I don't use the standard lead free offerings. You're just using heavy braid. I've used lead core for donkey's years. I've tied it the same way for donkey's years. I followed the way that Terry Hearn does it for lead core. I used his YouTube video, however many years ago that was, for direction, and it has served me well since. So where permitted, I will and do use a lead core leader. But as lead core is a little unfashionable nowadays, I'm now using Fox copper core 50 pound. Now, these are my braid spools. This is Avid 35 pound braid. I'm going to Holland in July, early July, and I'm going to use braid because I can. Also, I'm using the copper core leader. Now, it's the next best thing to lead core. The principles of it are the same. How I tie it is exactly the same, and hopefully I am going to piece all this together so you can see how I do it. There's not much difference in the way I do it and the way that Terry Hearn done it all those moons ago. It just bloody works. So the ingredients: braided mainline, but you can use this with mono. I also use 18 pound Avid Camo mono. Bloody love the stuff. There's a great debate over mainline. I'm not going to go into that now. Everybody has their favourite, and Avid is mine. My leader, very simple needle knot there, 5 foot copper core to my homemade lead clip system. I call it the hybrid. A little tweak that I've made to this from my last video I did, I'm now using a plastic run ring, which makes it double safe, because that will break at about 10 or 15 pound of pressure. So what I've got here is the run ring, quick release rig clip, bit of shrink tube over, and then I've got my Fox lead drop off system or heli drop off system with the PVA pin. So should my lead get snagged, it'll pull on the PVA pin. I mean, like I said, I'm going to Holland. I'm going to be using big leads. At Glory Lakes, I'm fishing peg 1. Peg 1 is up and down like a horse draws. So when I drop my lead from the bait boat, one of the very few times I actually do use a bait boat, I want that lead to stay put. So should I get a run, it'll pull through the PVA pin. It will then go into a running rig like that. Should that get snagged anywhere, even though it's been released, that plastic run clip will break. I've tried it. One I did broke about 17 pound thereabouts. But that was a dead lift. You probably get a bit more on it if with your bend your rod into equation, and then it will just go into complete and utter running free. So now I'm going to go into how I go about tying this. Like I said, I followed Terry Hearn's direction many moons ago. It suits me. But for those of you who are necessarily new to carp fishing and are fannying about splicing, splicing works if it tickles your fancy. I don't splice. I see that as a ball ache. I do it this way. It is easy peasy lemon squeezy, and let's go, without further ado, into how we go about it. Beautiful hillbillies. Well, here you find me in the kitchen where all rig magic happens, and I'm going to show you how to tie this leader. Like I said, this is what I use for both lead core and copper core because they're practically identical. So, Fox copper core, £50. To you that's backwards, but anyway. So, how much do I want? Kitchen table's about a yard. So about 5 foot, thereabouts. Yeah, loads. And, right, so. Braid spools. And how do I start this? Well, strip back. I want to strip about 3-4 inches of the core out. So about hand width, give or take. As you can see, it's lovely and supple. Roll the sleeve back. Lovely. And you also notice I haven't cut it off the spool yet. So, get my rig swivel and I pull that back to the knot and I do a 4-turn blood knot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, back through. Nature's rig tool. Be careful with your teeth. Bit of spit, everything slides with a bit of spit. And then form a lovely neat knot. Good pull. And then snip it off with the tag end. Like so. So like I said, you want about, me personally, I like about 5 foot. So another couple thereabouts. And snip. So what's next? I get a baiting needle here in the old man box to put my hybrid lead system on. And through it goes. So over my swivel, like so. Then I strip back, I don't know, a couple of inches or so off the other end. Can be a little fiddly. Yeah, we sort of like, I don't know, a couple 3 inches thereabouts. A couple inches there. As you can see, there's the lovely supple chain link. And then I get my rig tool. And I pop it inside. This is where I singe the end to stop fraying. I mean, after it, you will get a bit of fraying time, but you'll get a good bit of wear out of it. I mean, like so. And then I get the lighter. Give it a little bit of a twist. Lovely. Lovely. Now, the tool I use for this bit, now you can use a splicing needle, but I don't. I use the Fox Easy Splice. It makes life so easy. Even if you do go down the road of splicing, it just makes life fucking easy. So I just go behind. I find with my fingers the where the core is, and I just pop that in there like that. A little fiddly, but feed it on like so. And then I get my braid. Like I said, you can do this with a needle. If you're using stronger mainline, you can poke it through the side. So, like so. I like to get a bit of tension on this. I don't worry about how much I have a nice bit of tension. Again, this time I use a 7-turn blood knot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then tag end back through and pull. Nice and tight. Tidy your bits and pieces up. You don't want it all snagged up, you want it nice. Bit to bit. That will not come off for as long as you've got a hole in your ass. The only way that's coming off is if you cut it. Tidy your odds and sods up. And there we go, ladies and gents. That is how I attach a lead core or a lead-free Leeder. Lead-free meaning copper core. I've done it this way for as long as I've had a hole in my arse and I've been carp fishing. I fished lead core leaders for donkey's years. At Rodney I don't, purely because I'm not allowed, but like I said, I'm going to Holland, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. You know, these are now on my spool. These will be on here until I change the way I'm going to fish, and I don't see any reason why I should change it. They'll be on here for anything up to a year, 2 years. If I can use braid on my new syndicate, I will just come back from Holland and I'll carry on exactly that way. So, nice and simple, ladies and gents. Nothing complicated. Like I said, splicing is a ball ache, but if you wish to splice, you can splice. This is the way I do it. It works for me, and that's what I'm sharing.